The Prime Initiative.
If you were born and raised in Southern California or really anywhere in the East Coast, you would have a deep understanding about culture. It's everywhere. I was born and raised in downtown Los Angeles, right next to, literally right across Echo Park. There was an abundance of culture. We had so many different forms of culture there, and it was very diverse, very peaceful for the most part, with the exception of the bitch ass gangs that were there in Echo Park. But it's a beautiful thing. Culture is a beautiful thing. I was predominantly raised in a Hispanic culture because I was in Echo Park. And the Hispanic culture is an extremely beautiful thing. The level of festivals, the way they treat each other as far as their family is concerned. Everyone is family oriented. Everyone loves family for the most part. You always have that drunk tío that causes issues, right? When you go to Hispanic get togethers, you are force fed. I mean, I remember every time I will go to a Hispanic get together, quinceañera or whatever you want to call it, I will get force fed tamales by either a tia or a grandma. And of course, you don't want to disrespect, and they'll make it a point to make sure that you're fed properly, right? So it's a beautiful thing. Hispanic culture is a beautiful thing. I personally love particular mentalities when it comes to Hispanic culture, like the Dia de los Muertos, which I'm still writing a book about. Love it. Love all the cultures that are there. Black, Hispanic, Asian, Persian, Middle Eastern, you name it. Any form of culture in Los Angeles is a beautiful thing because everyone comes together and takes care of one another. That's just how things are, right? But certain things that are transpiring in Los Angeles that I definitely do not agree with. Now, I know. Hold on a sec. People are going to get offended. People are going to, raise their eyebrows. To be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to cater to your bitch ass feelings. This is all about facts and the truth. You're about to get a heaping serving of that. Let's take a look at what's transpiring in Los Angeles real quick for those of you who do not live in California because it's all over California and surrounding states. Let's take a look at this. Who are we watching today? Fox 11 News. Let's look at this article pertaining to the protests happening in Fox 11 News. And of course, this is pertaining to the ICE raids that are transpiring in Los Angeles. Let's take a look.
Once again, moving through a stretch of the Hollywood freeway that was shut down by an immigration protest.
Gigi Graciette live in Los Angeles with more on yesterday's demonstration. Gigi.
And there were protests across the country yesterday. The protesters angry over President Trump's policy of mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. And yesterday, protesters in Los Angeles, well, they took to the streets of downtown, but they also took over a freeway. As most protests do, it started peacefully enough, according to...
Okay. Before I get into this rant, let's make one thing perfectly clear. Protest is fine. It's, believe it or not, an American right to protest. Imagine that. Imagine the irony, the American right to protest. So, protesting peacefully is actually very effective. You get your voices heard, and sometimes there's change. But there's certain ways to do it. Right? There's certain ways to make your voice heard. Exercising violence in between that and causing blockages on freeways, one of the most busiest freeways in the fucking country, is not the way to do it. You're making things worse. But let's finish this real quick.
To the LAPD, but it didn't end that way. Officers using non-lethal force to disperse the crowd when the protest was declared an unlawful assembly yesterday. It started, though, in the morning, and I'll
be honest with you. Some of you motherfuckers don't even know what you're protesting about. You could tell some of these guys literally just came out of Starbucks, with your fucking coffee, your iPhones that you got here in the United States. Come on. Really?
Alvera Street with protesters walking through the streets of downtown Los Angeles and eventually onto the 101 freeway. And that's where a crowd estimated to be in the thousands, according to officials, clashed with both police and some very angry drivers who were forced to stop. The crowd eventually taking over both sides of the freeway shortly after noon. Many of them seen carrying flags from the United States, others from the country of origin that they were either born in or their family. The backup on the freeway quickly built to being miles long, causing some major gridlock. Now, we spoke to some of the protesters, and they shared what their message.
Now, why is blocking the freeway such an important thing? Especially the 101. Well, look, people need to go to work. People need to go to school. There's law-abiding citizens that have to grind on a daily basis. I am one of them. The majority of you also do it. Blocking the freeway like that, you're impeding everything. That's causing strife with the majority of hard-working people in Los Angeles. Not to mention the amount of resources, these resources that are needed for particular emergency situations.
Messages and why they were there yesterday.
Protesting for our people, for peace, for
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You know what? Okay.
equality. I think everything that's going on is so scary, and I think we all deserve to be treated like humans.
I'm here
Holy fuck. You know what? Let me.
to represent my heritage and where I came from, and to come against hatred and racism.
We stay united, we're going to stay together. So we're going to make it better.
Wow. Charming. Okay, so protest. It's happening in Los Angeles. Again, Trump put this particular directive that he's obviously going to get rid of all the criminals, illegal immigrant criminals from the United States. As well he should. Fuck yeah, it's about fucking time, to be honest with you. But these people, for some reason, think that they're next, right? And I get it. You know, growing up in the 80s, there was this game that we always play in Los Angeles. It was kind of like a hybrid form of tag or hide and go seek, right? I don't know if you guys play this. I mean, I sure fucking did. And I played it with all of my Hispanic and black friends and Chinese friends. We all played this fucking game. It was called La Migra. It was hide and go seek. You have to hide from ICE or hide from La Migra because they're going to get you and take you away. It was all fucking stupid and fun as fuck. You know? This shit has been going on forever. There is nothing wrong with being an immigrant. For the most part, the majority of people here are immigrants, right? But there's a definite difference between doing things legally and doing things illegally. We're at the point, because of bitch-ass Biden and the way he opened up borders, that there is an abundance of illegal activity and illegal criminals crossing over. Not all of them are Hispanic. That's the one thing you guys have to understand. The Mexican-American border is weak as fuck. We had different amounts of different forms of criminals coming through, not only causing crime, but also bringing drugs over. It had nothing to do with just Mexicans in general. It's illegal immigration. And yes, that needs to stop. But how quickly people forget that there was actually a person that fought against illegal immigration as well. And this person was a deacon. This person was looked after as a leader of the Hispanic culture. He was also on the left. He was renowned as a leader and a hero. Did you guys fucking forget that? Let's take a look at Cesar Chavez. Okay? Cesar Chavez fought for all the farm workers and fought for all of the immigrants, but also fought against having illegal immigrants come in. Imagine that. Let's take a look at this. Okay, we'll go back here since they're not narrating this. Cesar Chavez is remembered as the leader and civil rights activist, right? who fought for the rights of farm workers. El Caudillo, I believe that means leader, right? Like warlord, as he was nicknamed, was born in Yuma, Arizona on March 31st, 1927. Okay, a little bit of history. I like those old pictures. From a young age, he was concerned about social justice and workers' rights. Why do you think that was? It's because he saw all the shit. He was there, the front lines. He was there farming as a child. He saw it all, right? Some of you guys that are protesting fucking go to work at Target and shit. And then out of work, you go back to mom's house and get on your computer and play your Xbox, right? You don't know. You don't know. Dolores Huerta and Chavez formed the National Farm Workers Association, also known as NFWA, which is, I believe, is still valid today. His leadership focused on restricting the immigration of undocumented workers. Why do you think that is? He was an immigrant from Mexico and he fought against it. Why? Because the amount of violence that was coming in. Not only that, they were taking everyone else's job. He fought against that. This is one of your people fought against it. He fought for the rights and better wages for American unionized farmers. Sure did. He achieved success, including the termination of the Bracero program, which greatly favored American farm workers. In an effort to prevent undocumented immigrants from crossing the border into Mexico in 1973. He organized members of the Farmers Union to trace what was called the wet line. It gets better. Union members blocked the passage of undocumented immigrants. Look at that. All Hispanic workers blocking the passage for illegals. To the Arizona-Sonora border in uninhabited areas of the desert. Preservation of one's own culture does not require contempt or disrespect for other cultures. This is a quote from him. I'll read it again so you guys have an understanding. This is what he said. Preservation of one's own culture, meaning yours and mine, your culture, right? Very proud people, right? Does not require contempt or disrespect for other cultures. Are you guys protesting in a respectful way? I'll be honest with you, you guys are literally taking a shit on everything that Chavez worked hard for. There's a fucking street named after him in Los Angeles. Did you guys forget? You guys are too busy on fucking TikTok to have this particular understanding. There's nothing wrong with protest, but when you start burning the same country that you're in, you start burning their flag, there's a fucking problem. And I personally have a fucking problem with that as well. I personally know military people. I personally know veterans who worked hard for the American rights and freedom. Yours as well. Kind of a shocker, isn't it? Right? But then again, are you guys protesting in a peaceful manner? Fuck no, you're not. Let's take a look at this particular article here that just happened not so long ago. It's just 2 minutes with good old Miss Gina Silva.
New 10, a 17-year-old was stabbed outside LA City Hall during a demonstration against deportation
Does that look
policies.
peaceful to you?
Tonight, that teen is in critical condition. Fox 11's Gina Silva live in downtown LA with more. Gina.
Christine, it was supposed to be a peaceful protest organized by high school students, but shortly after it started, it ended in bloodshed.
I just wasn't expecting to see something like this happen so quickly.
A protest against President Trump's mass deportation policies turned violent when a fight escalated into the stabbing of a 17-year-old high school student. Julio Rosas, a national correspondent for Blaze Media, captured the attack on his cell phone.
I saw the blood soaking through his shirt, and he took off his shirt, and his entire back was covered in blood, and I didn't realize how badly he was bleeding until I looked down at the sidewalk. And I realized I'm standing in it.
The stabbing was reported around 1:35 p.m. outside of City Hall at 200 North Spring Street.
And by the time that I saw the fire department and the police taking him away in the ambulance, he was still awake, but his skin had gone pretty pale.
Friday's demonstration, which ended abruptly after the stabbing, marked the 6th day of protests against.
All right, so there you go. Stabbing, right? I think I have footage. Other footage of the actual stabbing that transpired here. Let me see if I could find it here real quick. Stand by. All right, here we go. There's the kid. Wow, looks peaceful to me, right? So here's the thing, guys. Again, the level of hypocrisy is ridiculous in this whole situation. And I get it, a lot of people have undocumented illegal family members, right? And that's unfortunate. But here comes change. There's certain things that you can do to do things legally, and there's certain things that are happening that are illegal. The level of hypocrisy is going through the roof. If you guys want to have your voices heard, do it in a peaceful way. Protest, right? But when you start burning the American flag and start hurting other people and stabbing other people, you're fucking up. You're fucking up. You're actually doing the complete opposite that Chavez fought for. But here's the thing. Thanks to these actions, you definitely got attention, that's for sure. And now there's going to be a large-scale enforcement happening in Los Angeles very soon. Certain ways to do things, right? There's peaceful ways, and then there's the ways that all of you are doing. This is definitely a very unfortunate thing. It's unfortunate that it turned violent. People are getting hurt. I mean, it's actually pretty fucking pathetic. But you know what? You brought it upon yourselves. Well, you know what? How does that saying go? You fucked around and now you're going to find out.
The Prime Initiative.